Have you ever found yourself struggling to walk away from something or someone because of the time, energy, and effort that you've already invested, even when it's pretty clear that it's not working out? That has a name. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. Let me tell you more. Fallacies are lapses in reasoning and judgment, often driven by our own emotions, rhetorics, cognitive biases, and limitations. It's a mental thing, and it's human nature. It happens to all of us. By definition, the sunk cost fallacy is when we continue to follow through on a losing venture because of past unrecoverable investments, whether that's money, energy, effort, emotions, sunk costs, even when giving up is clearly the better option. It's when we support our past decisions despite the new evidence that's showing us that the decisions that we're making are no longer aligned with us or the best course of action or in our best interest. It's when we feel like whatever we've invested will be lost if we don't continue to follow through, rather than considering the benefits that we could gain by walking away. And that right there, that has to do with something called loss aversion. So loss aversion is defined as a cognitive bias where the psychological pain of losing is twice as much more intense than the psychological pleasure of winning. It's a real thing, and it influences us to avoid losing so much that we overlook and dismiss the ways that we can actually win. Our brains can be kind of crazy, right? It really just does that for us to try to help us to not feel pain. But the thing is, when the brain is operating and we're not consciously operating it ourselves, it's irrational. This can be a really vicious cycle and counterproductive to actually serving our best interest. This type of stuff happens on all levels. For example, I'm a huge book lover. I love to read books. But every now and again, I come across a book that I can tell by page 50, I hate it. I can tell I'm not going to enjoy this, but you know what I do? I keep reading. Sometimes I'll convince myself like, oh yeah, maybe I'll like it by page 100. Sometimes I think, oh my goodness, I spent $30 on this book. I am reading this book. Sometimes I just think I need to finish this book so that I can give myself a pat on the back. Good job, girl, you finished the book. Meanwhile, I could literally get a different book and have a lot more fun reading that book instead of spending hours trying to finish a book that I don't even like. Now that's minor, but there's other things that are so much bigger. Relationships, for example. I was once in a relationship for a year and a half. By month 6, I knew it was causing way more harm than good. I was losing myself. It was toxic. I hated my life in that relationship, but I kept sticking it out. Why? Because I didn't want to face the fact that I made a terrible decision in who I chose. And the thought of me walking away truly did feel like losing and like I completely wasted my time. I was so focused on that I couldn't even see what the benefits would be from walking away. So I stayed. Even at the year mark, I continued to stay. I was holding on to my past decisions of, oh yeah, I made a good decision back then. I just need to stick it out and then eventually it'll get better. By the year and a half mark, we were still in the same place. And eventually I said, okay, I have to do something about this or I will literally wither away. It's also happened to me in career paths. I've had many businesses. When I started it, it seemed like a great idea. But once I started investing my time and my money and my energy into it, it started to really do me more harm than good. I was losing myself. It was not fun. And if you're anything like me, I'm a person who will fight for what I want. You know, because there's a lot of influences out there that will say, you gotta fight for what you want. Anything that's worth having, you gotta fight for it. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. You gotta fight for it. It sounds really noble. It does. It sounds pretty good. And don't get me wrong, anything in life that we're pursuing, there's going to be challenges that pop up for us. There's going to be days where we don't feel like doing it or where we're not enjoying it. I'm not saying that it has to be easy and sunshine and flowers and rainbows. What I am saying is that we shouldn't have to fight for our lives for something that's truly aligned for us. If it's something that's truly in our best interest and something that's aligned and for us, it will definitely come way more naturally. Will there be challenges? Sure, but there will also be wins. I heard a quote that said, "Success leaves clues," and I absolutely love that. I couldn't agree more. So, now that we know what the sunk cost fallacy is, what are we going to do about it? How do we overcome it? How do we avoid it altogether? So the first thing is awareness. We can't change what we are not aware of. We may not be able to avoid the sunk cost fallacy, but the goal is just to catch it as early as possible so that we're not spending so much time on a dummy mission. It's all about being honest with ourselves. Sometimes it's hard, I know, to think, oh goodness, I was a human and I made the wrong decision, but it's okay. It's human nature. We all miss the mark sometimes, but it's not about missing the mark. It's about just trying again. Failure can be hard to deal with, but is it really a failure if you learn? Another part of the awareness is not only being aware of the fallacy itself, but also being aware of the emotions that drive it. Sometimes fear is the driver. We fear what's going to happen next. We fear if whatever we move on to, what if it's not the best decision? What if we don't gain anything out of that? Sometimes it's shame. We don't want to be judged by ourselves. We don't want to be judged by other people. I heard this quote that said, "Don't be afraid of what other people are going to think, because most people don't think." We got to focus on ourselves and let people just be people. It's fine. And then number 2 is refocusing our attention. A lot of times when we don't want to let go, we're way too focused on our past decisions. So if we're going to focus on the past, at least focus on the evidence that shows you and supports that it probably is a better decision to move on to something else. And then we transition into the present. What can we do right now? Doesn't have to be some big ginormous steps. Just what can we do right now? And furthermore, how will that benefit us? What are the benefits of walking away? I promise if you actually take some time to think about it, you'll find some type of benefit. Because again, it's not failing if we learn something. Focus on future benefits and not past losses. It's in the past, babe. You can't change it. The only thing you can change is right now. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you gain some awareness. And if you're having some type of sunk cost fallacy right now, it's all good, babe. It's fine. Just make some different decisions and everything will be okay. If no one told you, I believe in you. You can do it. As usual, thank you for spending some moments with me. I always appreciate being able to pour into you. And until next time, peace, love, light. Go be great because you are, babe.